Architecture can be considered both a science and an art.
Which can either make a person sad, depressed, happy, positive, negative.
I think it's...
We create a house into a home.
Architecture, of course, is one of the most important things that a lot of societies, human societies, make. And it's through architecture that we often know about past societies.
It's more personalized.
Architecture has to blend with the surrounding, it has to come out with the surrounding.
Not only that, it is my style. And he was the one who really inspired me in my life.
අපි උදේ නැගිට්ටම ජනේලෙන් හරි මිදුල බලන්න තමයි පුරුදු වෙලා තියෙන්නේ.
I think when it comes to homes, everybody is like their dream.
ඔය වෙද්දි තමයි අපිට අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ අනන්‍යතාවය කියන එක. ජීසිරත්නායක කියපුවම ජීසිරත්නායක චිත්‍රශිල්පිය තුල ගොඩනගපු ඩෙන්ටිටි එකක් තියෙන්න එපා.
These artworks belong to the Kandyan purity tradition.
We did a massive restoration program.
ආරච්චිලා ගෙදරින් පටන් ගත්තම කරත්තේ වෙල්ලාය පහු කරගෙන සංහිඳ පහු කරගෙන අම්බලම් පහු කරගෙන කඩමණ්ඩියට ඇවිල්ලා කඩමණ්ඩිය ආරා ගිහිල්ලා ගම්මානට යන සංකල්පයක් තමයි මේ පුරාණ ගම තුල තියෙන්නේ.
We did work long hours just like other people, and we were paid enough to travel anywhere in the world.
In Sri Lanka is the same. People ask me, what is your favorite in Sri Lanka? And everywhere is so different.
This affords them an opportunity to get personally acquainted with the social, cultural and historical aspects of the places they visit.
The pleasantly cool winds from the Hantana mountain range, coupled with the gentle breeze from the Mahavali river and the jaw-dropping mountainous backdrop in this picturesque corner of the Kandyan district, where the Indian Ocean meets the jungle, resplendent Ceylon's latest creation is Wild Coast Tented Lodge, adjacent to the world-famous Yala National Park, renowned for its dense leopard population.
Welcome to my home. This is in Boyd Place, Kolpiti, in the middle of the hustle and bustle of the city. Is this amazing urban oasis that I discovered and found. A paradise amongst all the stress and the concrete jungle that you get around. This is a little bit of a green haven that we have welcomed to this morning. I'm Philip Weeraratne. I'm an architect based primarily in Sri Lanka, but and I lead a practice of young architects and designers. We do work in Sri Lanka, all around the country, as well as overseas in Singapore, in Dubai, in Oman, and now also in Bangladesh. We have a practice of about 30 to 35 designers and architects who work together in collaboration. So there is no one superstar in our practice, but we have a lot of architects who collaborate together and work together. So just wanted to speak about who I was and how I got into architecture. Actually, from the time I was a young child, I was a creative person. I had the ability to visualize and imagine a lot of things. There's a misconception that you have to be good at mathematics to be an architect, but not really. I was more good at visualization and imagination. I used to dabble around with a lot of creative things, making things out of my hands, out of wood and stone and paper and cardboard. I would make gifts for friends and relatives out of things that I find in the garden or in the storeroom. And my mother, being a very God-fearing person, meditated upon this and prayed about it, and she had a divine direction that I should be an architect. So that was the turning point, and she took a decision that I should follow architecture. And I just said yes to it, even though I didn't know what it was all about. But from the day one, I just loved it. I was passionate about it, and I really enjoyed doing it. I knew that was my calling in life, to be an architect. I think you'll probably be curious to know about this house and why I live like this and how I live like this. Really, I was very blessed and fortunate that a friend of mine, a close friend of mine actually, who used to live in this house, offered this house to me when it came up for possession, and I took the opportunity. I jumped at the opportunity because it was fantastic surroundings, and also it's a, if you look at the house itself, it's a I would believe a 50s style house, 50s, 60s style house. It's not really completely colonial, it's not completely modern, but it's got what we call, it's not art deco either. The style is just a sort of a 50s sort of slightly retro style house, and the previous owner had done some modification, being a creative person, and when I took it over, I added my own touches and flavor to the house in a few things that I did with the house. This house and this place is all about living outdoors and about spending your time outdoors. So that's why we've done these kind of outdoor living rooms. You would have seen the outdoor dining room. The dining room has no doors or windows. The outdoor sitting room, which has no doors or windows. So we spend a lot of time in the outdoors. There's a table out there which is for outdoor dining. There's a bar which is outdoor. So everything in this house is about the outdoors. It's about entertaining in the outdoors, entertaining in the garden, entertaining under these trees. Being able to, even in the daytime, you can see that it's completely cool, it's completely shaded. So really, as an architect, I didn't have to do much but to make sure that I bring the outdoors in and really open up the house in a way that it can relate to the outdoors, but at the same time creating certain comfortable spaces in the indoors. Like you would have noticed the living room is a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more well appointed with a different type of interior and style. So every space has been designed with certain types of use in mind. I'm also very blessed and fortunate that I had a desire in my heart that I should create a space for meditation and quietness, not just for myself but for other people. And as a believer in Christ Jesus, I dedicated a chapel which is really more for creative people, people who want to meditate. It can be for anybody of any religion. It doesn't matter, for you to just come and spend time in quietness and meditate upon a living God. To be able to reflect upon a living God and to find quietness and solace. The space is also used for singing and for concerts, singing, for performances. We are hoping to do an art exhibition in that space. So it becomes a creative place of meditation and solace and peace and quietness and solitude. So that's really a little bit about the house and what it is. Really, I can't really talk about the cost of this house because this house is really an old house that we renovated and restored. You can, as you look at the property, you know it's a massive property. So really, I can't give you the exact amount of purchase, but really this is, I'd rather not talk about what the value of land here is. Obviously people know, but I'm really more interested to talk about the design and about creating elements and creating spaces in the outdoors. So a living room in the outdoors, a bar in the outdoors, a dining space in the outdoors, a semi-covered living room, a semi-covered dining room, and really making things very simple and uncomplicated. Even the garden is designed to be more like a jungle. A lot of it is wild. We've introduced a lot of flowering plants like the heliconias and other palms into this place. When I took it over, I introduced a lot of other plants and trees into it, just to make it a little bit more lush and tropical, to attract the birds into the garden, really, because I wanted to create an urban oasis, and I'm really blessed and I'm thankful to my friend who introduced me to this house, and also of course to the landlady who has very graciously given me the house. What my intention is to inspire people with a space like this. I really use this as a place to convince people that you don't have to completely live inside closed, locked up rooms, that you can actually spend life a little bit more in the outdoors, that it can be comfortable, it can be cool, that if we introduce trees into a garden, that it can really capture the wind and the ventilation. And also it's about respecting your environment and creating an environment, even with a small plot of land, that you can do a lot of things if you are willing to think out of the box. So basically the idea is to show people that even with a small plot of land, you can live with trees, you can live with nature, you can live in the outdoors. People can relate to the outdoors and the indoors, and show them that you don't have to be locked up in a space. That's what I hope to inspire to people with this house, and a different way of furnishing and living in a house. How how you create your living spaces is very important to the mental well-being of people. It's very, very important. We don't realize that a lot of the houses that are being created now are almost like prisons, and they're so closed up and so locked up and so restricted that people are really not being able to come back home after a long day of stressful work. They don't have a refuge or a place which is peaceful, which has the right energy, which has the right vibration, which has the right character of space to come back and rest and relax, not just in the body but also in the mind and in the spirit. So it's very important how you create living spaces, and I think there is a new revolution where living spaces are going back more and more towards nature. People want more and more open spaces. People want to be able to see the garden, to see water, to see outdoors, to have a courtyard, to have high ceilings, to be able to have natural light and ventilation. So I think people are getting more and more understanding the importance of, even if it's a small plot of land, it can be 8 perches, it can be 9 perches or 10 perches. You can really create a space which relates to the outdoors, which relates to sunlight, which relates to ventilation, which relates to the trees outside, which relates to water, which relates to the touch and feel of different elements and materials, whether it's stone, whether it's pebbles, whether it's grass, whether it's timber on your feet. Creating everything is to do about your senses, about your smell, about the touch, about the visual. Everything that comes to our senses either stresses us or relaxes us. So it's very important in the future and in this new revolution of creating living spaces even in tight spaces, even whether it is apartments or whether it is small, large houses, villas, holiday homes, that we have that understanding of how we look at living spaces. We at PW, our architectural practice, we specialize in different types of architectural projects. Could be villas, holiday homes, luxury homes, boutique hotels, resort hotels, high-rise projects, various types of projects, even medical care facilities, retirement homes. So really we don't limit ourselves to one particular type of building or style of building. We don't even do one particular style. It depends on the context. We've done restoration projects in the Golf Fort. Fort Bazaar Hotel is one of the most famous projects that we've done, quite well known in the Golf Fort. We've also done several restoration of residential projects in the Golf Fort. Also, if you look at Villa Serendipity, which is a beautiful holiday villa on the banks of the Kogala Lake. Saffron Beach Villa was one of our very early, very revolutionary beach villas that we did for an Australian couple. And then of course, if you look at the Luna Tower project, which is a 45-story apartment project that we are currently doing, which is probably one of our largest projects. And many other residential works, a wide range of residential works that we have been involved in, and also of course interiors, from shop interiors like some of the spa salon outlets to other types of shops like cotton collection, a varied range of shops and interiors, that also anything that interests us, anything that challenges our creativity, and anything that engages us and gives us the opportunity to play with different types of materials, different types of textures, different types of concepts, because we don't believe that we know everything, that we have arrived at one thing, that we should be stuck and rigid to a particular style. For us, it's very important that our clients are happy and they're comfortable. It's not about our egos. We don't do this because we want to get into magazines or books or whatever. If that happens, that's great, and that's great publicity for our whole team, for our work to be recognized if we get awards, but really that's not our primary goal. Our primary goal is to make sure that we create good relationships with our clients, that our clients remain friends. That is really primarily important for us, that our clients are friends, that we can go back to their homes and have a meal with them, have a drink with them, and to really see that they're enjoying life in the spaces that we have created for them, I think is the most key essential thing for us, and we really strive towards that. That is our end goal. And of course, to create well-finished buildings in Sri Lanka, we want to create a tradition that Sri Lankans can be proud that we can do international quality work in Sri Lanka, that we don't need to go out and get other architects to come in, but that we can really do projects and do architectural creations that are on par internationally with any other architectural piece. Do we have to learn from the outside and from other architects overseas? Yes, my goodness, we have a lot to learn. So we are not like frogs in the well. When we have the opportunity to collaborate with foreign architects or other international design companies, we are more than happy to do that, because that's our education. We learn a lot of things about new materials, new techniques, new detailing, how to look at things afresh and new. It's always breaking out of the box. It's all about reconstitution of our thinking, disruption of our thinking. We like to continuously disrupt our thinking. We continuously like to challenge ourselves with new challenges and new boundaries. I like to keep our team on their toes, on the edge. It's all about training them. It's not just about milking them to get work out of them, but really creating diligent, disciplined, dedicated, passionate generation of young professionals and architects who, whenever, if they go out on their own, that they will be able to service the community and society very well. They'll be able to deliver a good job of work by God's grace, that we all work by God's grace. And finally, it's all about that. We can only do so much. And just about ourselves, I'm actually a single guy, so I love this space. This is where I meditate, my quietness. I can escape, and I love being by myself. I enjoy this space. I enjoy the environment. I can connect to God in this space and really reflect on His goodness upon my life and His mercies and grace upon my life. So this is really my own refuge and my haven, because for me it's an awesome place. And of course, I also open it out to entertain people. I love to entertain and to be hospitable to people, to look after people, to make sure they get a good meal here, that they are looked after and they have a good time when they come in here. My heart is to make sure that people leave this place refreshed, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually.